Welcome to another edition of Richie on the Rocks. Yet again, there's no rocks. We're drinking champagne. Go figure. Right. And as you can see on the couch beside me is Mr. Marck Angel. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. So for those of you who don't know who Marck Angel is, Marck, can you please tell the people who you are and what you do?
And what I do?
Yes.
I'm Marck Angel, singer, songwriter, producer, dancer, so they say. Hailing from New York.
Hey, New York in the house.
I just go back and forth between New York and DC. That's where my home bases are. Act a little bit, and that's all. That's all.
Let's talk about that. Let's actually start there, because when I first discovered you, and I think I told you this the last time we talked, was like I saw you doing a video for this, I guess maybe the soundtrack, or if it was a single or a song from Finding Me, the series. So tell us a little bit about that. What's that all about?
Oh, okay. So you're talking about the video for Deep. Where I'm on the beach with
you're on the beach
with Brian. Shout out to Brian. Of course, he was in the video. How I got started with that?
Who is Brian anyway? Like, I've seen him on a lot of stuff. Like, is he somebody we should know? Somebody who should be on the show? Like, do we know him?
Brian is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
I've known him for a very long time because we're both out music artists.
Okay.
So
which we're gonna touch on a little bit later too.
So he's a rapper as well, hailing from like the New York, Connecticut area.
Okay.
And we actually met from another song that I did called Go Baby Go. Go Baby Go. And he was on that track with another out rapper named Chaos.
Okay. I've heard of him as well.
And so I was just like, okay, I'm doing this video, and it's for a soundtrack for Finding Me. I think it was Finding Me, the second movie, Finding Me Truth.
Okay.
And he was like, sure, I'll do it. And I was like, you want to be my quote unquote date for the video? He was like, sure. So came and did the video.
Come through, date?
Yeah.
So.
And we froze our asses off that day too. People don't know that. People think it's a summer.
Where did you film that video at?
In New York, out in the Long Island, Queens area. On the beach, and it was like the middle of November, like 40 degrees outside. It's like 2 degrees outside today. Yeah, and I had on a little bit of nothing. My toes were turning green, but we acted like it was like 90 degrees.
We're gonna talk about you in this little bit of nothing a little bit later on too. So okay, so with that, how did you get involved with that? Like, and can people actually find that now? Like, and where can they find it at?
You can actually find all of the whole Finding Me. You're talking about Finding Me, or just
yeah.
You can, if you Google Finding Me, the first thing that's gonna come up is Finding Me the movie. They had 2 movies, Finding Me and then Finding Me True, and now there's Finding Me the series. And right now it's currently in season 2. I play a character called Dominic on the show. So just Google it, or you can go to omeprotv.com so you can actually watch and stream the series as well and download it. So
so let's transition just a little bit.
Sure.
I do want to kind of mention one thing. We are, like I said, we're drinking Richie on the Rocks. We are having some drinks. We are drinking champagne and vodka today.
It's a splash of vodka.
It's a splash of vodka. So the past 2 shows we've drank champagne. I mean, it's just becoming a thing. So we might just kind of stick with this for a little bit, you know, unless somebody comes up with something different.
It's classy and ratchet at the same time.
It is. It's a little bit of ratchet. Do you have a ratchet side?
Probably.
It's so funny because like every time I see you, I like ratchet would never be the thing that I would think of when I see you.
That's like never.
Like, you seem so like classy. Like,
I'm not always gonna say classy, but I'm not gonna say ratchet. I don't know.
We'll find out
after we finish this.
Okay. So listen. So let's talk about your music.
Sure.
You're still kind of promoting the album that you have out right now, right?
Yeah. Angel Dust.
Let's talk about that.
Angel Dust. Angel Dust is my first full album. I originally had an EP called Trademark, which is kind of how people got kind of introduced. The song Deep was on that EP as well. But Angel Dust is my first full-blown album. I wrote and produced 7 of the 9 tracks on the album. The other 2 tracks I wrote but were produced by the amazing Swanee River. I engineered the album, composed, arranged the album, and that's just my baby. I worked with was supposed to work with Bryant, but I didn't get a chance to work with Bryant. So, Chaos came back, an amazing out rapper. Medino Green, shout out to Medino Green, who did an amazing job. I'm forgetting people.
It's okay, because you know what? They're
Y'all
gonna
know.
purchase the album. Now that they see you on the show, they're gonna purchase the album, and then they're gonna find out who on it. But so I do want to talk about something, because we're in your place, and so you were able to kind of give us a tour of, you know, your home studio. So like how do you, like, for the people out there who are, I like doing this show because I like introducing people who are doing things and making things happen on their own. So you've created a lot of buzz for yourself, and you've done a lot of this on your own. How did you get involved in, like, how did you get started in that, like making your own music and putting it out and becoming successful with promoting your brand?
The first thing I remember doing is actually dancing at like 2 years old. I have those are like the first memories I have. Is like dancing on my mother and father's coffee table in Queens. So my mother told me that I was like dancing on beat at like 2, like had rhythm at 2. So then probably when I was like 4.
Not you came dancing out the womb.
I know, right?
Came out percolating.
At 4 I started singing, and probably about 10 I started writing songs, and 16 is when I started like actually producing and trying to go into the studio and stuff like that. And then when I got into college, see what college I went to. When I got into college, I actually minored in audio engineering so that I can get the technical part of creating music. So I've always kind of played and dabbled with keyboards, but the technical part of getting a good ear and knowing how to master, knowing how to mix, knowing what programs to use, doing the different patches and the sounds, and trying to match the sounds that are in my head to the patches that are in the computer program. Or patches are like instruments for people who don't know.
For those of you who don't.
Or they call them stems as well. You can call them stems or patches. So that's kind of how I just got into it. And the realty is I was tired of spending money going into the studio. So I said, okay, you know.
That's the same reason I did it. After having gone to the studio and spent X amount of dollars, I'm not going to even say how much.
Yeah.
And watching, I literally, I will tell, I tell people this all the time, and I'm not exaggerating. I watched an engineer spend 17 hours mixing a song. And I watched my money go 17 hours. Listen, he's amazing at what he does. It can take that long, but
not for somebody else to do it.
And then watching another engineer do it in 2 hours, and the sound quality is great, but and it's kind of like you were saying earlier, it's all in your ear.
Yeah.
You know, so there is that. But anyway, continue.
So, I just kind of developed an ear for it and practiced, and the more you do it, the better it gets. But like I was saying, with the money, I'm going to the studio, somebody else's studio, spending a whole bunch of money, and I was like, okay, I've already spent $1,000 for 2 songs. I could take that same $1,000, buy myself my own programs, buy myself my own synthesizers, buy myself my own keyboard, my own programs, and my own mics, my own instruments, and do it myself. And so that's what I did. I was just kind of smart enough to say, let me try this on my own. Right. And then through trial and error, you kind of just develop your ear for what sounds right. You know, you record something and you put it on CD. You run to the car, you run to your CD player, you run to your headphones. You know, so it's like you can figure out the sound to try to make it right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did.
So tell us about the concept behind Angel Dust. Like, I mean, because I came to your album release party, and you kind of told some stories about, how some of the songs on the album came to be. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
That was an emotional night. It's why you smiling. Because you know you about to get some.
Listen, this is the good stuff. This is the stuff that people want to know.
I did break down and cry that night.
Yeah, you did.
Because it was 18 months of work. People were like, oh my gosh, it took 18 months to do an album. Yeah, because I wrote, produced, arranged, composed, everything. I didn't just,
and you got to live your life.
Right, exactly. You have to live your life. I didn't just go buy tracks and sing on them. You know, I actually I recorded probably originally I recorded 18, 19, 20 songs for the album. And I decided on 9 because 9 told the story. So Angel Dust is not about drugs.
What you do with other tracks?
They're there.
They doing that?
Yeah, they're just sitting.
I feel like you should,
like,
at some point in time, give the people a little bit of an exclusive, like a little leftover.
That would be great.
Because like artists did do that all the time. Like they'll say, like, I recorded 75 songs for this album, and then you give us an album that's got 11 songs on it. Well, what you do with the other?
I know. But for me, it's about the passion. I wanted to have tracks that told the story and didn't want repetitive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're not gonna never give us none of that. I feel like you should. Right? Look, I'm pressure.
I'll speak to Shayla about it. Shayla is my PR girl. I got to shout out to Shayla.
Hey, Shayla.
She's the one who does all the emails and
Shayla, make him release a little something exclusive. Beyonce can come out and she can release a little 2 songs for the people, and they go wild. Listen, I did 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
I bought it too. Give us a little 7-Eleven. But anyway, go ahead.
So Angel Dust is not about drugs. Angel Dust, but it is about being high. Mm-hmm. It's about being high on oneself. Self-love, self-esteem, self-accomplishment, self-confidence, trying to regain that. And the story behind it, of course, it's about love and relationships. Mm-hmm. Coming from a very, very... The album, the arc of the album starts with a very, very difficult relationship that I was in, mm-hmm. that I happened to get out of, mm-hmm. and trying to refine myself instead of being completely absorbed by a relationship.
Gotcha.
And then, finding myself again, self-love, self-esteem, all those self-confidence, and then moving into another relationship. So the album kind of goes from a bad situation to finding myself again, and then goes into, okay, I can still love again. I can still believe in love again. So that's what the album is about.
So, like, if you were to say, like, to someone who maybe hasn't heard of Marck Angel before, like, can you give us maybe, like, 4 key tracks to listen to? Like, just to say, I mean, because you've done several videos.
Yeah.
And you guys can check them out on YouTube. I'll try to put some links in the description so that you guys can just go and check them out easily there. But, like, give us 4 key tracks from the album that, that people should definitely look out for.
Okay, there's some sexual stuff too. So Marck Angel.
So y'all know we like a little sex.
What would be? No Means No would probably really describe the attitude I had when I left that relationship.
Okay.
You have somebody that has done you wrong and has done so many other things to you, and you've had enough. Mm-hmm. You've got enough confidence to kind of move on from that, and I don't need that anymore. And you kind of realize, okay, this is not going to end up good, so let me kind of move on.
Right.
So No Means No. Positions is the sexual song everybody always talks about.
I'm going to sip on this.
Positions is that hot club track. That was actually the first official single from the album. So go look up Positions.
Very hot video clip.
Yeah, that.
Where was that shot at?
That was shot, at a restaurant in Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name.
It's a dope video. You guys definitely check that out.
I was actually sitting there with a great friend of mine, and we love to go to the same restaurant over and over in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg. And he was like, "You're looking for a spot to shoot your video? Why don't you just shoot the video here?" And I was like, oh my gosh, it has amazing backdrops. You don't have to build sets and pay a whole lot of money. And he actually knew the manager, so I was able to get a discount on the time for the spot. And yeah.
Dope video.
Yes.
Okay.
And mind you, since that video, a lot of out artists have used that same producer.
Copycat.
Hi, Red. Red was the videographer that I used for the video.
Oh, but that's what? That's a good thing. Let's shout out Red, because the goal with what we're doing here is to make sure that we are supporting other people who are doing the things that we want to do. So shout out to Red.
Yeah, Red. And actually, for the whole entire album, Red produced every video from Positions to.
Let me holler at Red.
I know. the Love Jones video. What other video did I do? Summertime. I have 4 videos from the album so far. There's probably going to be one more.
Okay.
There's probably going to be one more.
Okay.
And we got to talk about that too.
Oh.
Because you owe me something.
I do.
Right.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the fact that your album Angel Dust was kind of based loosely, well, kind of really a lot on the story or the arc of a relationship. So tell us, are you in a relationship now? What's going on with you presently? Are you dating? What's happening?
I am. See. You should have asked me this after this drink.
What?
No, I'm happy. And
what does that mean, Janet? Like, you're not gonna give me this PC answer or not on this show. The people want to know. Listen, I'm here to ask the questions that the people.
There was so much shade in that.
There was no
statement.
There was no shade. You gave a Janet answer. She would not have said anything. I'm happy. Listen, I know you happy. You smiling.
I studied from the Jackson book of etiquette.
Well, I studied from Winnie. Now you gonna tell me what I want to know. What's going on with you?
I am.
What is dating you like? What are you looking for in a date? What do you think?
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
Is that a better question?
Yes, that's a better question. Because I was getting a little hot. I am. Put it this way, my track record for the people who I've dated, and this is, no shade, but they've always said, I'm kind of the best boyfriend that they ever had.
Oh.
Because I'm just very, very easy. For me, it's about just respect and transparency. So, yeah.
What does that mean for you?
That means, don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't cheat.
Don't lie.
You don't have to.
Don't cheat. Listen, we ain't gotta talk about that. Go on about that. But we'll say that for another show.
There's no reason for it. So I'm very, very simple too. I can go out and have a good time. I love food. We had that conversation. How I love food. Oh my God, Jesus Lord. So I'll take food over sex any day. Yeah.
Listen, I'm almost at the point where ain't nothing wrong with it. Food is amazing. Okay, so what's your favorite type of food? For those who don't know,
it's a cross between soul food, because I can cook too. So that's another thing with dating me. I can actually cook. I can cook my ass off. So, soul food, like macaroni and cheese, and fried chicken and greens, and I have an amazing potato salad. Oh yeah. So I'm soul food, and then something real quick like Thai food. I love Thai food. I just had it today.
Thai food is amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, let's get into our thirst trap of the week.
Oh
Edibles.
my God.
So listen, for those who have not seen the show, or for those of you who are not aware, our thirst trap of the week on Richie on the Rocks is basically someone who is killing it, sexy as hell on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. All of the social media. So can you tell us who your thirst trap of the week is? Why does it get you? I didn't even talk about the stuff that's going to get you in trouble. Okay. That's coming up. Who would that be?
I should say three of them. You want to say one, or can I say all three?
You can say all three,
I
but
can say all three?
You got to rank them if you're going to do that then.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Okay. The Stephen Beck.
The Stephen Beck.
Yeah, I think it's actually at the Stephen Beck. I think that's what it is.
We're gonna double check it and we're gonna put it up on the show anyway. So go ahead.
And I know Stephen, so.
Oh, shout out to Stephen then. Hey. Hey, assistant, look him up.
Are you looking it up now?
You know, the assistant for today is Mr. Damon Maurice Bouvier. Yeah. Mr. Bouvier, for those who don't know.
Hey, Mr. Bouvier, in the corner.
In the corner.
So that's what. You could probably just Google Stephen Beck, and I'm sure his Instagram. I'm sure it'll come up. Just amazing and delicious. Next is Tyler Play. That's
Tyler Play.
Ty is Tylepley, I think.
Okay.
And that's Benjamin from Having to Have Nots.
Oh.
Come
through, Tyler Perry.
Come through. You sound like I'm kind of, BBD.
Wow.
BBD. Let me tell you what BBD is.
What is BBD?
And this doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's dumb, but big, beige, and dumb. That's it. That's me and my friends have.
The hell out.
That's me and my friends' code word for.
First off, I hope don't nobody ever call me that. Like, I really think like nobody said that about me, right? I had to check.
I'm sorry. That's our code word for BBD. Me and my besties. You're like, oh yeah, BBD.
They call me
BBD. and the third one.
Number 3.
Is DJ Richie Sky.
Me?
Yes.
Let me post a half naked photo.
Why not?
I should, right?
Yeah, those are the things that I check quite often.
Oh snap! I might be blushing on camera just a little bit. Cheers to that.
Clink.
Clink, clink, clink. Okay, speaking of Thirst Trap of the Week, so let's talk about Tasty Treasure. I felt like that was the appropriate lead-in for that.
Okay, so the idea for the whole, what you're talking about is the Tasty Treasures underwear ad campaign. I'm actually very good friends with the creator of Tasty Treasures, Rue Michaels. Shout out to Rue. So he creates Tasty Treasures underwear.
I feel like I'm getting all these people I should have on the show.
Yes, please
assistant.
do.
Are you writing these down?
Yeah, he's amazing.
Thanks.
Actually, Rue used to sing back in the day too.
Really?
Yeah, I know he asking that question if he comes on the show. He's gonna be like, "What? Find a single too."
I'm gonna do some research now.
So, I did a video called Love Jones.
Okay.
And I wanted the video to be very, very intimate. If you look it up, it's a black and white video, very intimate, based on like a photo shoot. So it was my chance to kind of combine working with Rue Michaels for the underwear. He actually gave us all the underwear and the wardrobe for free.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Out.
Yeah. And it was an opportunity to work with Red again.
Okay.
And it was actually an opportunity to work with one of my best friends, Gerard Wright, for the Wright Vision, who did the photography.
Okay.
So it was. I'm an advocate of trying to combine all the different elements and genres of the out community and the LGBT community, particularly the Black LGBT community and the urban LGBT community. So it was an opportunity to kind of bring those things together. So Rue donated the underwear, and after we did the video, it was like I was sitting down with Shayla, PR. I was like, well, what do you think about extending it and like doing something with Rue outside of just the video and using that sort of as a catalyst to do something more? So I contacted Rue and I was like, well, what do you think about us, collaborating together, and my audience combines with your audience and demographics, and we'll do something together. He was like, sure. So we combined everything together, took the pictures, decided to come up with an ad campaign. It was like a 2-3 month ad campaign, and that led up to Valentine's Day. Now it's about to be over, but it's still out there. So yeah, that's how that worked.
And so what we'll do is we'll put a link where they can actually purchase.
TastyTreasures.com, or you can actually go to marckangel.com, MarckAngel.com, and there's actually, I have a link so that you can get to the Tasty Treasures site. Okay,
awesome. Yeah. So you talked like for a second about, well, I guess a couple of times about being an out artist. What does that mean to you? Like, because I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know, because I'm in music as well, so I rap, and I straddle the fence about like how to present myself and my music. So how do you feel about that? Like, what kind of made you feel like Marck Angel is gonna go in that direction, and this is what it's gonna be?
I am very proud of it. It doesn't. To me, it's in the same vein as saying I'm an R&B artist or a pop artist.
Because I will say this, one thing I will say is that you've been nominated for quite a few things over the course of the past couple of years, which is pretty phenomenal. I mean, for me, as someone who has kind of watched you, over the course of time. So, like, talk about that a little bit.
This year was a really, really good year. It was a really, really good year. It really, really was. Angel Dust did so much. It did more than what I thought it was going to do. Because I just wanted to write from my heart and create from my heart. And not do things for awards and accolades and stuff. Right. I just wanted to say, okay, this is my story. This is what happened to me. Hopefully you can learn from it. And hopefully it inspires you. That was the point. But to know that, you know, my peers appreciated it musically and sonically, and the videos and the dancing, and then with the tour. So the feedback has been amazing, and the awards and stuff. I mean, it has been amazing. So it's like,
come on, Grammys.
Getting all the nominations. It's like, okay, so your audience is responding, but then also your peers are responding.
Right.
You know, in the industry are responding. So that's amazing to me. So, and thank you. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen, cheers to that.
But about being, particularly the out music industry. So getting back to your question about, I want to be able to use the proper pronouns. You know, I don't think that Beyonce has to sit in the studio and say, oh, I would just want to use the word they.
Right,
no.
right.
She's going to say him when she's in love with somebody. You know what I mean? And she's living in that truth. I don't want to have to use pronouns in order to say who I'm in love with. I'm going to say he. I'm going to say him, because that is my life. You know, and hopefully if I live in my truth, it'll inspire other people, not only other artists, but other people to say, no, him. You know, if you're sitting at work, I don't care if you're an administrative assistant or a clerk at a desk, and somebody asks you, oh, who are you dating? How's your boo? How is he? That's what I want to inspire. I want it to be I want it to be quote unquote normal. I don't want us to have to think about,
right,
should I say he? Should I say him? No, I want it to get to the point where it's normal. And it's not a thought of us saying. Straight people don't have to say, oh, you know.
This is true.
Straight people don't have to think about saying she. They just say, oh yeah, my wife is blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I want to be able to get to a point in the world where I say, oh no, you know, my husband, blah, 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 blah. Without even have to think about it.
You know, and so, okay, so that kind of touches on, again, like why I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this show is because I wanted to inspire people. And so I think you said something that has really kind of resonated and really goes along with the theme for what we're doing here. So let me ask you another question then.
Sure.
Related to kind of your music, what's next for you?
What's next?
And it doesn't even have to be music. I mean, it could be anything. By the way, sidebar, I am cuddling the cutest, like the most amazing dog ever, and I don't want to let him go. Treasure. He'll make his debut later. Anyway,
he actually has his own fan base. Whenever I post pictures with him,
listen,
he's about to get his own IG page and his own Twitter page and start commenting.
Listen, this is the new Jiggy. So okay, so yeah, what's next for you?
Okay, so more music, of course.
More music?
Well, probably.
What's going on? What's happening? Album?
I think I'll do one more video to close out Angel Dust.
Okay.
Which, like I said, we're supposed to talk about.
Right.
And then for the summer, I'm not gonna tour this summer. I may do like special engagements because touring is very, very hard. It's rough. It's tiring. It's exhausting. Excuse me, sir.
Hey, Treasure.
Excuse me, sir. I'm talking. So, yeah. So I probably won't do any touring. I also have a couple of scripts coming in. There'll be more Finding Me. Dominic on Finding. Please go watch Finding Me.
Watch.
I played Dominic on Finding Me. I'm actually a lot in this new episode that just came out.
Okay.
And then a couple of scripts have come across my desk. So
it's a little bit more acting.
Those two right there. So you don't say you see them right there. Yeah.
Those two right behind the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, in talks for that type of stuff. So that's important. And then it'll be back in the studio.
Good, because we are waiting for more music.
Yeah.
Maybe some unreleased stuff. Oh, hey, Shayla. Anyway, so I want to say thank you so much for, you know, allowing me to kind of get into your head a little bit and allowing me to hopefully expose you to somebody who may not have heard of you and can learn something from you or be inspired by the things that you've done, because you've done a lot and you've accomplished a lot, and I think you should be proud of that. So the whole point of this show is to celebrate those things, and I really, really appreciate you for taking part.
Thank you, Richie Skies. You know what I'm saying. So.
Listen, so tell people where they can find you.
Okay, first of all, it's marckangel.com. It's Mark with a C and a K, so it's MARCK.
Extra.
Yes, MARCKANGEL.com. You can find everything there, from music to videos to press to when I'm tour dates, blah 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 blah. Tasty Treasures as well, finding me as well. And then of course everything is pretty much the moniker of Marck Angel, MARCKANGEL. So Facebook, I have 2 pages. You can go to Facebook, /Marck Angel, or Facebook /Marck Angel fans, Twitter Marck Angel, IG Marck Angel. What else is there? Tumblr Marck Angel. That's about it. Cause I'm
all over the place.
Yeah. Or just Google Marck Angel. Why not?
And there you go.
Yeah.
There you have it. So thank you for being a guest on Richie on the Rocks, and cheers to everything you have accomplished.
Well, that's